And greetings, class. We're going to move on to gerunds now today. Remember, we were studying verbals at this time. We talked about participles and participial phrases last couple days. Today we're going to talk about gerunds, and then we're going to talk about gerund phrases. Then we're going to talk about infinitives, the other verbal, and infinitive phrases as well. Finish off the chapter. But first, let's talk about gerunds. Now, remember when we talked about participles, that they could. Basically, these are verbals because they're words that can function as verbs, but they don't. Participles were words that could function as verbs, but they don't. They function as adjectives. Gerunds are words that could function as verbs, but they don't. They fit the job description of a noun. Now, nouns can be subjects of sentences. Nouns can be direct objects. Nouns can be objects of the preposition. Nouns can be predicate nouns. And gerunds can be all of those. So let's take a look right below the 1 minute warm-up on page 364. Has everyone open up their books to page 364? If not, I'll wait. Okay, hopefully we're all there. It says right below 1 minute warm-up, that's where I'm at. You have learned that a participle is one kind of verbal. Another kind of verbal is a gerund. Bowling is a very odd sport. Gardening is a satisfying hobby. Collecting baseball cards can be a lucrative pastime. All of these are gerunds. Now, when we talked about the verbal that is a participle, remember that participles could end in either ed or ing. What do you notice about bowling, gardening, and collecting? Yeah, we don't have to look for a word that ends in ed or ing. We're just looking for ing words here with gerunds. Now, a gerund is the present participle of a verb. Now, present participle is a big fancy way of saying it ends in ing. And it's used as a noun. Gerunds, when you think gerund, think noun, okay? In a sentence, a gerund can function all the ways a noun does. And there you see examples of all of that. So subject, reading is my favorite activity. Now, reading can be a verb, but in this case, it's not, right? It's the subject of the sentence. It's what this sentence is about. I enjoy reading. Okay, now reading, again, is a verb, but in this case, it's a direct object. It answers what or whom about enjoy, and in this particular case, it answers what. What do you enjoy? What? Reading. Object of the preposition, we know to look for a preposition, and then the main noun after it is the object of the preposition, and in this case, they're the last two letters of that sentence, for reading. Today is a good day for reading. In this particular case, that's a gerund, ends in ing, serves as a noun, object of the preposition. Now then, a predicate noun. A predicate noun, as you remember, is a noun that describes or actually can take the place of the subject noun. And linking verbs do a good job of linking those words to that subject noun. So my favorite activity is reading. Reading ends in ing. That's a gerund, not a verb, and it's linked to activity. So it's serving as a predicate noun, a noun in the predicate. Look at number 2 once. Now, you know that a word ending in ing might be a verb, a participle, right? We learned that a couple lessons ago, or a gerund. To determine whether a word ending with ing is a verb, participle, or gerund, you must see how the word is used in the sentence. It says, first, find the simple subject and the simple predicate. They will help you to know whether a word is a gerund. Okay, so that's a good exercise. We've been doing that for a while now. Let's look at that sentence where it says Cora and Andy. Cora and Andy are running in tomorrow's big race. That kind of sounds like they're doing something. It sounds like they're running, like it's a verb. And so that would be the verb of the sentence in that case. So would that be a gerund then? No. Gerunds, they have to be what part of speech again? They have to be a noun, right? Participles are adjectives, gerunds are nouns. The running water overflowed. Running water. What kind of water? Running. That sounds like an adjective, right? Describing water. What kind of water? So that must be it ends in ing though, so it's got to be a participle, right? How about the next one? Running is both a fun and healthful exercise. Well, only nouns can be the subjects of sentences, right? So that particular case, running is the gerund that we're looking for. Okay, so running, since it's a verbal, it could be a verb. In this particular case, that ing word could also be a participle. It can be an adjective describing a noun. But when it comes to gerunds, we're looking for words that end in ing only, never ed, that can serve as nouns, either a subject of a sentence, a direct object answering whom or what about the verb, object of the preposition, the noun after the preposition, or the predicate noun that takes the place of the subject being linked by the linking verb. All right, let's turn the page, page 365. All right, just like to take a look at that wise old owl there, or maybe he's a young owl, but anyway, he can probably turn his head all the way around though. That's pretty cool. I wish I could do that some days. Although teachers do have eyes in the back of their head. That is true. Okay, what were we talking about? Oh, that's right. Let's get back to gerunds. Middle of page 365. So a gerund is the present participle of a verb used as a noun. In other words, big fancy word, big fancy phrase, meaning what? It ends in ing. That's all. A gerund functions in all the ways that a noun does. All right, let's try it out. Let's take a look on top of page 365, y'all. Speak up. Find each gerund in these sentences. Is it used as a subject, a direct object, an object of the preposition, or a predicate noun? Some sentences have no gerund, so they're trying to trick you. They're some tricky guys. All right, so we're looking for ing words. Number one, I see an I spy with my little eye an ing word, and that is sketching. All right, so we found our gerund. Good. Move on to number two, right? No, let's look at the directions one more time. So how is it being used? So your choices are subject, direct object, object of the preposition, or predicate noun. What are you thinking? Shout it out right now. 1, 2, 3. I think I heard most of you say subject. Did somebody say preposition? Come on. All right, number two. Look for an ing word. Swimming. Swimming is correct. All right, does that look like it's a subject of the sentence? I think we could probably eliminate that one, right? So now we're looking object of the preposition, predicate noun. Is there a linking verb? That would be an indicator, right? There's a predicate noun there. Direct object. So does it answer whom or what about the verb? Okay, what do you think? What's your vote? 1, 2, 3, shout it out. That's correct. Object of the preposition. Notice the preposition by in front of it. Number 3, look for an ing word. Painting is correct. I spy a linking verb. I don't know. What do you think? I'm going to go, you going to go predicate noun on this one? I think that's a wise choice. Look at number 4, ing word. Singing. Okay. What about that one? Is it going to be subject, direct object, object of the preposition, or predicate noun? Okay, shout it out. 1, 2, 3, make your selection. Now, what did she and I do? She and I are singing. So, is it any of them? No, that's a verb in that one, right? So singing is the main verb of the verb phrase, are being the helping verb, telling what she and I did. Are singing, or yeah, so that's the one that they tricked you on, number 4. Well, maybe, I don't know. I didn't hear all of your shouting. So maybe some of you said, no, that's correct. That's a verb. I don't know. This is virtual. I can't hear you. Number 5. I see reading. Is it a verb? Are they trying to trick us again? No, it's not a verb. Okay, what do you think? I see about. About looks pretty preposition-y. All right, so about reading would be the prepositional phrase in that case, making reading the object of the preposition. Number 6, I'm seeing an ing word right in the beginning. All right, now how does it function? Well, let's see, comes would be the verbs, right? Simple predicate. So it looks like that's a subject of a sentence, isn't it? All right, number 7. No help on this one. So I want you to, on the count of 3, shout out the gerund. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I want you to shout out either subject, direct object, object with a preposition, or predicate noun. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay. For that particular one, what is the most interesting hobby for you? Most interesting hobby. What kind of hobby? Interesting. So that would make interesting a what? Let's answer the question what kind about the noun hobby. Yeah, that's an adjective, so that makes it's a verbal, but what verbal is it? Is it a infinitive, which you haven't learned yet? Although if you remember that we talked about infinitives in Spanish, I think you got a leg up on folks. So infinitives, gerunds, so it wasn't a gerund, so it must be a participle, right? Okay, because it's an ing word. They can be, remember, participles can be ing or ed. It modifies hobby, which is a noun, and that makes it an adjective. So we know participles are adjectives, gerunds are nouns. All right. I would encourage you, if you're having trouble with this or get stuck, I would encourage you to watch this video again. And then whatever you do, though, before you start on the assignment, watch Mrs. Wilcox's Powtoons video as well. That'll give you some extra practice. And then remember, there are the examples there that you get to do on your own, and then they reveal the answers. That could give you a good idea whether that you're getting it. However, if you want to reach out to me, send me an email or ask a question, or we'll figure it out. Okay. All right. Happy learning.